Hey, well, there's the question. You read it in the title, and I'm going to ask it of you. Is it a washateria or a laundromat? So all my life, I've known the place where you do self-service, use the washer and the dryer, and get your clothes clean as a washateria. Now I know what a laundromat is. Was familiar with the term. And I made a video this morning about going to a washateria because my washer broke and the burglar alarm, it sounded like a burglar alarm, really loud alarm is going off. After 5 minutes it's still going off, and the door was not locked, and I called out and nobody answered. So anyway, I called the cop. That's a different video. If you haven't seen it, I'll leave a link down there. That's not what this is about. So someone commented, actually a friend of mine, his name is Dennis, Boondocking with Dennis. Check out his channel. He could use all the views or watches and thumbs up you can give him. He's been under the weather for a couple of months in the hospital and then rehab and unable to make videos. He usually made one per day, and a good dude, but he's from Philadelphia. And what he commented under my video was he had never heard the term washateria, and that surprised me. I was kind of taken aback, really. And after I edited the video and I was putting in the description and all the stuff on YouTube, I actually went and did a quick Google search. And I was kind of wondering, should I use the term laundromat instead of washateria? And what the search, just a quick search, and I think the answer came from Reddit or so, I don't know where. And they explained that a washateria is a place that has full service. Well, they'll do it for you and fold your clothes, and you just go pick them up and pay them. And a laundromat is completely self-service. As it turns out, well, I decided to go with washateria because that's what's on the place that I was at, Washeteria. It's called the Alamo Washeteria. So I used that. Well, after Dennis asked me that, I went and did a little more research, and it turns out that first thing I got from Google was not right. The term washateria comes from the first self-service place to go do your own laundry using their machines and pay money to do it was in Fort Worth, and I forget the year, 1936, I think. It doesn't matter. And it was called the Washateria, and that came from a combination of washing your clothes, and it was like commonly an affordable place where you could go and eat. It was a cafeteria, and the guy combined the two and made it Washateria. And so what did I read? The term laundromat comes from, hang on, some major corporation, General Electric maybe, or somebody like that. They coined that phrase or copyrighted it or something. That's also beside the point. So I'm reading that people in Texas call it a washateria, and sometimes other parts of the South, but for the most part, people outside of Texas call them laundromats. So if you're not from Texas or from the South, and you heard the term washateria, would you know what people are talking about? Or would you, I don't know. Just say so in the comments. I'm really surprised that I thought they were interchangeable, and everybody, some people call them washaterias, some people call them laundromats, but it was all mixed up, all over, and apparently that's not true. So I spent a lot of time in laundromats when I was a kid, or washaterias, as we called them, and that was because we didn't have a washer and dryer at home. Sometimes clothes were washed by hand and hung out on a clothesline. That was very common. But sometimes, I remember I'd go with my mom, probably on a Saturday or Sunday, on her day off, and she'd have several baskets of dirty laundry that had to be done, and you put them in 3 or 4 washers, whatever it took, and get them all started, and then move them once they were done, move them to the dryer, and fold them up and put them in the baskets that were done, and we'd take them home, and it took a while, and it was boring. Like the place I was at today, they had video game machines, and everybody's got a smartphone these days. It wouldn't be so bad back then. And you're a kid and you're staring, and what they did have was a gumball machine that had the little rubber balls and then the gumballs and the little plastic things with toys. And man, you want some of that stuff real bad. Oh, can I have a nickel, please? Can I have a nickel? And sometimes you get a couple of nickels and get some. You're bouncing a super ball or a rubber ball around in the laundromat for 30, 45 minutes or an hour, or whatever it took. Something else I remember about the Washateria was in the 70s, and I know into the 80s, I'm familiar with, there was a problem, and what it was oil field workers, particularly people that worked on workover rigs or drilling rigs, and I guess sometimes roustabouts. Anyway, people that got their clothes were super oily, just covered in oil. And they sure didn't want to do this if they had a washer and dryer at home. They didn't want to do this at home, and what they do is go to the laundromat, and they used some kind of solvent. They would mix with the load with their soap and everything. They would put in like Varsol or methanol, even gasoline, kerosene, whatever, to cut that oil out of clothes. Everybody can't buy new clothes every time you wear them to work. Well, that made the whole washeteria stink, like you're working in a gasoline factory or something. And there would be signs up there. They would have handwritten signs in the washeteria: no gasoline, no kerosene, blah blah blah, no oil field clothes allowed, because I'm sure that was damaging to the machines, and nobody wants to go wash their clothes in a washing machine that's had that in the previous load was something washed with kerosene and make your clothes smell like that, and that would be bad for business. So I remember that. And when I traveled, sometimes I'd stay in New Mexico for 2 weeks. There were like in Hobbs and Carlsbad, I used at both places, and the company paid for it. I put it on my expense report. I would take my clothes to Washateria, laundromat, if you will, after a week, and whatever was dirty, and I'd pick them up the next day, and they have them washed and folded and everything. It was nice. So anyway, tell me what you think. Washeteria, laundromat, what is it? If you're from Texas. Another thing I happened to discover, when you go to Google and you type in Washateria with an A, it corrects you or guides you to spelling it with an E, Washeteria. And even the top result for Washateria with an E is a dictionary, Oxford Dictionary, another term for laundromat. And it has the frequency or the amount, how often the term is used, and it starts in the early 1900s, and it's actually ramped up quite a bit. Just looking at the little scale thing. Maybe I'll insert this in right here. So anyway, when you go to YouTube and you type in Washateria, like Google, and the dictionary says it should be spelled, and it corrects you And it doesn't, when you search for something at YouTube, it doesn't correct you. But when I was typing the word into the description of my video, and the title and description, you know, it tries to correct you. It does a little red squiggly underline thing, and it's telling me, no, the correct spelling is Washateria. So Google and YouTube are owned by the same. Google owns YouTube, I guess, and they can't agree on how to spell Washateria. So I guess nobody knows nothing about Washaterias. And just another thing. So I got to thinking, and after I posted the video that I did this morning about the drama at the Washeteria, I went to YouTube. After I posted my video, I searched YouTube, and I used the search word. The only search word I used was Washateria, and there is no results for a little ways down, and then there's a result where in the title of a video someone used the term Washateria. That was me. It was my video from earlier in the morning, and I scrolled and scrolled and scrolled, nothing. It's best I can tell, I'm not swearing this is true, but I made an honest effort to look, and I believe my video is the only video with the word Washeteria in the title. And I think YouTube would find it if Washeteria was used in the description. I'm not sure about that. So this is going to be the second video on YouTube that has a Washeteria in the title. There you go. Hey, we all got to be the best at something, or unique in some way or another, however you want to put it, right? Oh, later. Love you guys. If you watch, I love you.